What's up, guys? I'm just a gamer, and I'm here to give my thoughts on EA's press conference that just finished. And man, I am really divided on this because I was really pleasantly surprised by Titanfall 2. I had completely forgotten that that was EA because I kept thinking Respawn, but I guess they're partners with EA, or which I'll get to in later. But point is, I was really surprised. The game looks fantastic. I was a fan of Titanfall 1, which I thought was really fun. And like the new melee system, it looks like, with the swords and the punching, it's really cool. And they finally have a single player as well, which I thought was super. It was super interesting to me. I mean, the first game was only multiplayer, so for them to add in a single player, I thought it's actually really cool to get you acclimated to all the different mechanics. And the story itself seemed kind of interesting. So, because I know that in the first Titanfall, they referenced or hinted that each Titan had like an AI in it. So it's, I always wondered how, I kind of wondered how that worked. If each Titan has its own AI, it's it has consciousness. Does that mean every time a Titan dies, does the consciousness just go back up, or like get transmitted before it dies, or does it just die? So seeing like how an AI in that universe actually, thinks or processes, or how it goes, or how it can change, is pretty interesting to me. So I thought that was really cool. Mass Effect, I am very disappointed. In my last video, I said before that like they needed to show some gameplay because they've already shown us like concept art and still images and like some renders and stuff like that. And they did show some new stuff, but man, it was like no actual gameplay. It was. I'm not gonna say it was CG, but it was all pre. It wasn't just not in engine. I can just say did not seem in engine. It wasn't live. I'm probably not making sense, but hopefully you know what I mean. And I was just really hoping for gameplay. It was very disappointing that they didn't have anything. In fact, some of the shots they actually showed in that trailer, I'm pretty sure they actually had shown as the concept footage from like 2 years ago, which is seriously sucks. But well, whatever. And then I don't really go into sports much, so I tuned in a little bit for that. But the one thing that got me worried is like the donations or giving to play to give. And I'm just wondering, will that make it so you have to like, you don't have to, but like you can pay for achievements? Because I mean, it's like you go, it just said something about completing challenges a certain, I don't know if it's by giving or doing something. So will you be actually paying for achievements now? That's going to be really weird, and I kind of wanting to know how that's going to work out. And I just got to say, I am so disappointed with Star Wars. Oh my gosh. In my previous video, I mentioned that Star Wars in the gaming aspect, in the gaming industry, was really, really bland. They only released, since the Disney took over really, the Disney Infinity, which isn't much, and Battlefront, which was pretty cool, but again, it was only single player, it was only multiplayer, and it's got repetitive after a while. I mean, sure, they're bringing out new content, new maps and stuff like that, but still, it was not really what everybody wanted. When you think of Star Wars, you think of an epic story and a cinematic universe, but it was still a fun game. So I was really hoping that they would bring something to the table at this showing to like show that, hey, we are bringing amazing stuff to the gaming industry, Star Wars. And at first, it looked like they were. Jade Raymond came out there, and like a list of all the companies that are working on Star Wars games showed up, and I was like, ooh, it looks interesting. Are they going to go individually? And then it was just her talking about how these different companies are working on Star Wars games, which we kind of already figured. So I was really just disappointed. They maybe showed 2-3 seconds of like some, I think it was in game, but it was like, still in production in game of a Visceral's Star Wars game, and I was just not blown away. It was very blah, nothing. And the fact that Star Wars The Force Awakens is going to come to Battlefront, again, it does not excite me. For those of you who maybe saw my review video, but The Force Awakens was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. But I did not think it was a good Star Wars. So, let me just get that out of the way. So, I honestly was not that excited to hear that it's coming to Battlefront, because it honestly makes no difference to me. So, I was super disappointed in that regard. And then, for lastly, something that piqued my interest is when EA announced their EA Plays, their partnership with, like, smaller companies, made me think, didn't they already do that? Like, if I'm not mistaken, it was was it either last year or the year before, they announced EA Partners, and that was them partnering up with other major studios, but nothing ever came out of that. I'm pretty sure that died before anything significant came out. So, so they're trying again with smaller companies, and I don't get it. What are they trying to do? Overall, it was kind of lackluster. Again, Titanfall was really cool. Mass Effect was kind of disappointing because, again, no actual gameplay. Star Wars was a total fail. I think I did not get excited for Star Wars at all, and I love Star Wars, so that really makes me sad. And I'm not really into sports. I mean, I understand there is a huge demographic for sports games, but I'm sorry to say I'm not one of them. So if I'm offending any of you, I'm sorry. But yeah, like overall, I have to give this EA, if I had to rate them, I have to say I have to give them a D. Just because they did not really get me. The only thing that got me excited was Titanfall 2. And they had so much potential to get me excited for so much more. They could have made me excited for Mass Effect or for Star Wars, and they dropped the ball on that hard. So it's just not good overall. So yeah, I'm going to stick with a D, and I'm just going to hope and pray that all the other conferences are a lot better. Because this is kind of a rough start to E3. But hey, that's just my opinion. Don't take it at heart. I'm sorry you guys could think differently. I'm sorry, just, hey, if you want to say something, and I'll see what you say. Maybe you can change my mind. But for now, I'm just a gamer, and I'll see you guys in the next video for Bethesda's conference. Take care. Peace out.